Alright, hey guys, this is Orlandu, showing you this StarCraft 2 Void Ray Rush that I've been talking about. Just going to go through a couple of things that I do as quickly as possible to get a Void Ray out, and show you some of the changes that I've made to my original. Originally I would just not wall off, and I would go as fast as possible for a Stargate, and then start my Void Rays, but lately I've been getting rushed by, like in this instance, Zealots or Zerglings. So to make a few changes, you'll see that I put my pylon over here by my entrance. That way I can make my gateway there, and then another pylon and be completely walled off. So it keeps me from getting rushed. And this build, I also made a forge so I could get a cannon out quickly enough. And you'll see that it helped out pretty well. In this map, you'll see my opponent goes for a pretty heavy Zealot rush. And you'll see how I countered it, and then obviously how I took them out. So let's bring things up a little bit. Go with ×2. This time I just went for as many probes as I could to start. Usually I only stick with a set amount if I'm not going to wall off. That way I can have enough minerals. But I wanted to have a little bit better income. So as you can see, here comes out the first assimilator. Make a few extra guys for that. And now goes up the second one. Usually I try to put 3 in each one right away, but this time I started off with 2, which I don't have any in there yet. There's a 2, and there's one up there, and a second one going in. The key to this is to not waste resources. Make sure that when you're transferring them to the assimilators, you make sure that they do not have anything in their inventory, so they did not collect crystals and are going to waste it. Because if they go into the assimilator, they will come back out with gas and waste the crystals that they had. So here comes up my first Stargate. I'll slow it down just a little bit. Go look at the enemy. Here you can see he's got 4. And coming out with more. I think he had about 6 when he rushed me. So we'll see how many he has by that time. But he's got a lot more production going on, but no gas, as you can see. So that kind of slows down his production as far as advancement. And that's why this build is good at starting out gas pretty quick. So I have 3 in here. 3 probes each is about the max you want to do. Sometimes if it's really far away, you can do 4, but 3 each works just fine. So here we have the first Stargate. I canceled this cannon for a second to get out my first Void Ray. So now I'm going to bring him back over and put out the cannon. Something I learned from this is try and double up on your wall. So I'm going to eventually, on this map and others, make a double cannon wall here, or at least one more, so it kind of blocks them off. And maybe something over here so it keeps them from killing one thing and going right through my wall. So here you go. Now you can see his zealots coming down. He's going to mass them down here for a second and then come into my base. Also key in this is if they're bringing something quick to attack you, you want to protect your probes. So I've learned typically in a Void Ray rush you would try to build your Stargate as close to their base as possible. Like in this map you can make it right here. But since it's so close on this map, I just build it right inside my base. That way I can wall off. So here you'll see him coming here. And I kept my first Void Ray over here to protect against anything that I found out right now was coming. So you can see these are not upgraded at all. But my Void Ray is upgraded by 1, or will be shortly. See, it's still almost done. So another key is putting this research in first before you bring out your Void Rays. That way it's done by the time you have 2 or 3. So he comes over here to attack him, and I take my probes out. So you do not want to lose your probes in a build like this, because if you have to redo your probes, you have no source of income. You're stunted for quite a while. So I have my 2. Third one's already on its way. Typically in a no-rush build where they're not going to rush me, you'd see a lot more defense in their base. Typically some cannons, or from playing Terran, they'll have a turret or 2 up here. But and I usually have 3 Void Rays a lot faster, but having to go for defense lately, you'll see that I have to wall off. So I finished that wall just in case. I don't know where they're coming from on this map, or I don't know when they're coming. If they have more zealots coming after me. He was smart enough to not get any more zealots and started warping in his stalkers. But unfortunately, he did not have enough defense fast enough for anti-air. So he's starting his pylons out here to put up some cannons, obviously, but I take those out first. If it's a fast Void Ray rush where I don't even wall off, I just go straight for the Nexus. But in this one, I wanted to take out those so he couldn't get any cannons quickly. And of course, my Void Rays are at full power. So when he finally brings over these sentries, or stalkers, then they're hosed pretty quick. So you take out that, and I don't want him to go off building anything else, so I let him take out a few probes, and then start to go for his pylons here, and in a few seconds he just leaves. And I am now in the Silver League, so there it is. I am now in the Silver League, so it is still pretty effective. As you can see, I've had to make some changes, and walling off is a big thing. So this is what I decided to do, is to try to double up, so they can't just kill one thing and get right into my base. So there's the Void Ray Rush. It's not as fast as it was before, but it's become more effective with walling and with building these a little bit slower. Usually I have 3 out probably at about 8 minutes into the game, and here you can see it took me almost 9. So it's usually less than 8 minutes. I have 3 Void Rays out with a full upgrade as well. But if anybody is going to come attack me, then I'm hosed. So there you have it. There's my Void Ray Rush, and I'll see you in game if you ever want to play me.